Hey guys, welcome to Caffeinated Chaos with Cassie. Today we are going to be talking making friends as an adult, especially as a young mom, because that's what I am. I had my firstborn when I was 22 weeks shy of 21. So young mom, I will own that title because I definitely have earned it. With that being said, I want you to keep in mind that all of this advice, all of this experience, everything I'm gonna tell you is going to be through the lens. I live in Washington State now and I grew up in Maryland. So along with moving away from my hometown, thousands of miles away, I also am a young mom. Keep that in mind. And here is your reminder to take what you can, leave what you can't. I want to start off with letting you guys in on a secret if you didn't know. You probably know if you follow me on any type of social media, but your girl has social anxiety. I have had social anxiety since I was in high school. If I was to therapy myself, I would assume it had to do with the fact that I was super seriously bullied in 7th grade, but not 100% sure. It probably stems from a lot of things, but I feel like that's a good bit of where it comes from. I have social anxiety, so as far as making friends go, it's not my favorite thing to do. It's not my favorite thing to do, and it is scary. Making friends can be so scary as an adult because you have no idea anything about this person. You don't know where they come from. You don't know the experiences they may have had. I feel so much easier for you to stick your foot in your mouth or something when you're meeting new people than with people that you kind of have a little bit of an idea on their viewpoints on things. I totally could be 100% outing myself for masking because I do know that sometimes I can definitely cater towards who's around me with how I'm acting. Making friends as an adult can be so scary. It makes me want to vomit when I'm thinking about meeting someone new, going in a place where I don't know anyone. Makes me want to vomit. Okay, it's not my thing. So we're gonna talk how I've overcome that, because up until Isaac was in pre-K, we didn't make new friends. I mean, I had a couple friends through nursing school when I went through that era of my life, but still very slim in comparison probably to most of the people in my program. We moved here and COVID hit when Jenna was born, so obviously new friends were not made. Now Isaac's in pre-K, COVID is kind of coming to an end, but not all the way to an end. And in my opinion, it was very important for my kid to have friends here. I didn't have friends here. My husband has friends here, but he's gone a lot, so we don't necessarily always see his friends, and I really wanted little Isaac to have friends. So I was I have to make friends with moms so that we can go on play dates and we can have friends, right? With that being said, I had to tell myself why are you so scared? At the end of the day, what's gonna happen when you're making a new friend? If you do introduce yourself to someone, a fellow mom, a coworker, if you're not a mom or whatever, if you're gonna introduce yourself to someone, what's the worst thing that can happen? You guys don't become friends? Well, you already aren't friends. So what? You're gonna lose something you don't have? Maybe a little bit of hit of rejection. But at the same time, what if you meet the person and then you're the one that's I don't want to be friends with this person. We don't vibe. So it could be you deciding that you don't want to be friends with that person. You could totally come out of this encounter with a potential new friend. You could come out of this encounter with a potential new best friend. You could come out of this encounter with someone who's going to be your maid of honor if you're not married. She's going to be with you riding the freaking scooter in the old lady home, okay? You never know. We have so much life to live. You could meet someone who could be so impactful in your life, right? So it could be extremely good, or the worst that's going to happen is you and this person aren't going to be friends, which you already aren't friends. So with that being said, here's a little story to go along with. I do have this friend who I was under the assumption that she was a super social butterfly at this time. So I was I'm going to channel my inner girl. Right? And I was I'm gonna channel her because she has all these mom friends. I can go introduce myself to this mom. Even though COVID pickup was so weird, right? So we would pull up on the side and you were on the curb and your kid came out to your car and you just got in. You weren't going in the building or anything like that. It was 2 days before the end of school. My only opportunity was to walk up to this person's car who I have never really seen, maybe glimpsed her, but not even 100% sure what she looks like, and be knock, knock, knock. Is this your son? Because I'm guessing from where I've seen him get out of the car, right? And I'm pretty sure it's the right car because this particular family has a roof rack on their car, so it's kind of obvious, right? I'm channeling my inner girl. I'm gonna walk up to this car and Cassie, the worst thing that's gonna happen is, well, you might vomit next to her car, and that would be a little embarrassing, right? That would be a lot embarrassing. But the worst things that's gonna happen is she's gonna be no, we don't want to have a play date, and then okay, we're right where we are, right? So I walk up to the car and I go knocking on the window, and she's I don't know why that's my rolling down sound. And she's like, hello? And I'm like, hi, are you so-and-so's mom? And she's like, yes. And then I peep that she's like a younger child in the back seat, and I'm like, I have a younger child too. So in my head I'm thinking like, oh, this is even better. Maybe our younger childs get along. Younger children get along. And then I already know little Isaac is obsessed with her son. He has talked about this kid every single day at pre-K, right? And she's like, oh yes. And I'm like, let's have a play date. And she's like, yes, give me your number. Like, we exchanged numbers, and I'm like, okay, cool. I walk away and I'm like, I'm feeling on cloud mother 9. All right. I call everyone. I call my mom. I call my dad. I call everyone. I'm like, I text my girl, the one I'm channeling. I text her and I'm like, yo girl, I just totally channeled you and I think I made a mom friend. And she's like, woo, you know, and my mom's like, woo. My whole family's like, who are you? Because that is not me. I am Queen Social Anxiety, all right? I wear that crown proud. Fast forward to 4 years later? Yeah, 4 years later. Meredith is my girl, all right? Her babies, I freaking love them with my whole heart. Probably little Isaac's best friend. If I had to pick one, probably his best friend, all right? I love her whole family. It has become an amazing relationship. So like that, if I would have never walked up and on that car window that day, we would not have this amazing relationship. She is literally like my best friend here. Like, and I am so beyond grateful for her. That came out of me overcoming that fear and like making that friendship, right? That's like totally one way you can go about it. Now, here's another way you could make friends as an adult. You can like feel out the vibe of the person. So if it's like a coworker or it's like a mom that you see at gymnastics or soccer or whatever, feel out the vibe. Like when you guys see each other, are you like waving? Are you both just like, I mean, not that you should judge a book by its cover, but I do believe that you can like read a person a little bit by how they present themselves. So like, do you like vibe with how they dress, how they come off? Do you vibe with how they're talking to their children or how they're treating your fellow coworkers? And like, if you kind of like feel that vibe, then like in this type of situation, it's someone that you're gonna like encounter a few times. After you've hung out with them enough, you can kind of put out feelers like, oh, do you guys watch fight nights? Or like, oh, do you all like football? Like, are you into Sunday football? And then like invite them over to like a casual thing that you might host. And if you don't have any like friends locally and this is like your first friend, then maybe it's still casual. If it's like, hey, do you want to come watch the game? Like the kids can play, we can watch the game, eat the good foods. Who doesn't like to watch the game and eat the good foods, you know? And then let's say they come over and let's say you're like, this isn't the vibe. What's great with these situations is like once they leave, like you guys can just not hang out again. That might be on your end, that might be on their end. If you guys are like, you know, chatting it up, like powwowing like your BFFs, like maybe you guys continue the relationship and hang out more and then you build that friendship and that's great. But like, I feel like if it's someone that you might encounter multiple times, like it's really important to like feel the vibe out. Like if they don't seem like they want you to approach them, like maybe don't approach them. Maybe they're just shy. Maybe they're like me and they have social anxiety. But if it's someone that you feel like you feel like there's a friendship like growing and it's just from these encounters through soccer or gymnastics or whatever, these are just experiences I've had, hence soccer gymnastics. Like you can kind of tell, I feel like, if you're gonna get along with a person or like surface level get along with them. And if you can surface level get along with them, maybe explore that relationship with that person to maybe doing like if it's a coworker, like go out for a drink after work one day or something, you know? So far those have been really like the main ways as an adult I've made friends, is like those people that I am like forced to have those encounters with, or I just am like, you know what, my kid likes this kid and I'm just going to talk to their mom. Like that happened again when Isaac was in first grade. There was like a mom who picked up her son as well, like a lot of days, and I saw her and like I was like, you know what, she looks nice. She looked nice. Okay, I didn't feel the vibe of like, ew, don't talk to me. So I just like walked up and was like, hey, is this your son? Like my son loves your son, let's hang out. And now she's also one of my really good friends. You really have to put yourself out there if you want to make the friends. And I know that's scary. I know that sounds like, oh, it like, let's say you're like chatting up with your nail tech. Hey girl, like what do you do for fun? Like let's hang out. Like you're like, we vibe. Or like you're chatting up with like the cashier at the grocery store and you just like really vibe with them. Put it out there. Be like, hey, I don't know if you've ever been to this bar down the street, but like maybe we could go get a drink sometime, like as friends. Like you seem really cool. Like we could hang out. The worst that's gonna happen is they're gonna say no, right? Like that's the worst thing that's gonna happen. But the best things that's gonna happen is this person's gonna end up being someone that's like your ride or freaking die. All right. And it's worth that risk, in my opinion. Like, it's worth the risk. On top of, like, I cannot tell you how much making a friend as an adult has, like, poured into my cup. Like, it helps you get out of your comfort zone because you're meeting new people. You're having to, like, learn how to operate with these new relationships, and, like, you're getting to know someone, maybe learning new experiences from them, seeing things in different perspectives. So it's helping you grow as a person. Definitely as a mom. It has helped me grow as a mom tenfold, I swear. You get to see how, like, different kids are. You get to appreciate things your kid does as you're, like, looking maybe at other kids and you're like, oh, I'm so glad my kid does not do that. There's so many different aspects that it can, like, pour into your cup as a mom and just have you grow as a person, going along with them, like, sharing things and sharing perspectives that maybe you don't know. Also, they're gonna maybe show you experiences you would never do. Like, there are definitely things that I would never have went and done with my kids if it wasn't for Meredith, okay? But because she was like, oh, we're going here, do you want to tag along? Or like, oh, you want to meet us here? And I'd be like, yeah, sure. And I just put it in the GPS and go, and we have found so many amazing spots. We found different things to do. I feel like when you're making friendships, it's also a way to, like, lean into new hobbies. So, like, let's say, like, I'm getting into art. Maybe I go to, like, a paint and sip class and then, like, meet someone there and make a real friendship over art, and then we can do art things together. So many different things that can just help you blossom into being the best, happiest, healthiest, most amazing you. So I just feel like if it is something you're uncomfortable with or you're struggling with, like, put yourself out there. It's worth it. Find that person that you're running into, or if it's just someone you randomly see and you're just like, I just want to walk up to that person, just do it. Like, don't let the little voice in your head stop you. And if you are a mom, I'll tell you this little story really quick. Little Isaac always comments on how he knows that it's hard for mommy, because I talk about how mommy has a hard time with, like, social things and making friends, and he thinks it's so cool that I just do it anyways, or he is so thankful. He'll be like, thank you, mom, for, like, making that play date with me, because he knows it made me uncomfortable. And I think it's amazing for my kid to see that. Like, he's seeing that even though this thing makes me uncomfortable, like, I'm still doing it for him. I'm going out of my way to make sure that he lives his best life, and with doing that, I'm growing as a person, and it has gotten so much easier. Already this summer, we have had so many more play dates than we probably had any other summer, because I'm losing that, like, social fear of, like, asking someone to hang out and them saying no, because at the end of the day, okay, what if they say no? We can either ask someone else or we can still go do something fun. Like, who cares? Their relationships are blossoming, my friendships are blossoming here, and moving so far from home and not having the friends and the family here. Like, I'm so thankful that my brother lives with us and we have him here. He's our only family here, and me not having, like, my core girls here, it was so hard at first. Now that I'm building these relationships with these women and my sons are building these relationships with their children, it has just made me feel like such a good mom and has really shown me so many ways that I can grow. And I am a sucker for something that makes me grow. Once I reflect and realize that I am, like, becoming a better person because of something I'm doing, like, I'm like, let's go. Let's freaking go. Okay. And one of these things is making friends as an adult. And honestly, I feel like the more you do it, the less scary it gets. So by the time my kids are, like, 16, I'm going to be a freaking pro. We're going to have all these friends. We're going to be having a great time. We're going to be learning from everybody, having all these experiences. It's going to be freaking great. I know making new friends as an adult is scary. And if it's not scary and you're just watching this because, you know, just because, I'm jealous. I know that making friends as an adult can be hard, especially when so much of our world is online and through a screen. But even through the screen, like, I have started, like, being way more engaging on social media in 2024 than in the past, and I have already made some really cute connections with women all across America. So I'm just saying, put yourself out there. Put yourself out there on social media. Put yourself out there in real life. It's gonna pour into you and make you a better person, and it might not be right away. You might get some people who, like, aren't the vibe, or, like, you don't really get along with like that, and, like, that's okay. But keep moving, because there are gonna be your people. Like, your people are out there. There is definitely a group of people that you are going to just, like, vibe with and love where you're at. You just have to put yourself out there. So that is gonna be it for this episode. If you made it this far, I freaking love you. If you have any tips for making friends as an adult, leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear your all's perspectives and stories. If you have any fun stories about a friendship you made as an adult, I'd love to hear that. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next time.